In the rugged mountains, where honor was worth more than gold, lived a powerful tribal chief. Among all his treasures, the most precious was his only son, Alexander, a brave 15-year-old boy with a fearless heart. On Alexander's 15th birthday, his father presented him with a magnificent Arabian horse. The horse was unlike any other, strong, swift, intelligent, and loyal. Alexander named him Storm. From that day forward, the two became inseparable. Every morning, Alexander fed Storm with his own hands, brushed his shining coat, and rode across the valleys. They trained together every single day until they understood each other without words. As the years passed, Alexander mastered every skill a warrior needed. He became an expert in sword fighting, archery, spear throwing, and horse riding. His father often smiled proudly and said, "A true warrior is never alone. His greatest strength is the companion who never leaves his side." One morning, Alexander set out on an important journey to deliver a message to a neighboring tribe. He had no idea that spies had already informed his enemies about the route he would take. Hidden among the rocky hills, nearly 20 armed warriors waited silently. The moment Alexander entered the narrow pass, they surrounded him from every direction. "Capture him!" their leader shouted. Alexander immediately drew his sword. Storm stood firmly beside him. The battle began. Arrows flew through the air. Steel clashed against steel. Alexander fought with incredible courage. One after another, enemy soldiers fell before him. 10, then 11, then 12 warriors were defeated. But bravery has its limits. Alexander had suffered several deep wounds. Blood covered his clothes, and his strength slowly faded. Finally, an enemy's sword struck him hard. Alexander collapsed to the ground. The enemies rushed forward, raising their swords to finish him forever. At that very moment, Storm charged like lightning. The faithful horse kicked one attacker aside, bit Alexander's jacket firmly with his teeth, and began dragging his unconscious master away from the battlefield. Arrows rained behind them. The enemies chased them for miles. But no one could match the speed of a determined Arabian horse. Storm ran across deserts, rocky hills, rivers, and forests without stopping. Hour after hour, he kept running. His body grew weaker. His breathing became heavier. Yet he never slowed down. His only mission was to save his master. After nearly 60 kilometers of relentless running, Storm finally reached the lands of Alexander's tribe. The guards recognized the horse immediately. "Open the gates. Alexander has returned," they shouted. Villagers rushed toward them. Storm gently lowered Alexander onto the ground. The tribal healers immediately carried the wounded boy inside to treat his injuries. Storm stood watching quietly. His legs trembled. His chest rose and fell with great difficulty. For a few silent moments, he looked toward the house where his master had been taken. Then, the faithful horse slowly collapsed onto the ground. His eyes closed forever. He had spent every last breath saving the one person he loved most. When Alexander finally regained consciousness days later, the first question he asked was, "Where is Storm?" No one answered. Instead, his father silently placed a hand on his shoulder and pointed toward a hill overlooking the valley. There stood a simple stone with Storm's saddle resting upon it. Alexander fell to his knees. Tears filled his eyes. He whispered, "You didn't leave me, even when death stood before you." From that day on, every young warrior in the tribe was told the story of Storm, the horse who chose loyalty over life itself. Moral, a loyal companion is one of life's greatest blessings. Whether it is a friend, a family member, or even a faithful animal, true loyalty stands beside you when everyone else walks away. Choose loyal hearts over powerful people, because loyalty remains faithful until the very last breath.